Now, okay, this video is going to be about making a flexible X scale. It's going to be a very short and very easy video. Perhaps to introduce the subject, this is called a screening analysis in electricity. And what we do is, if you change if you change the capacity factor of a plant, you have to spread the fixed costs over a smaller base of hours. And when you do that, plants that have a low capital cost have less of when you spread the fixed cost over a small base, there's less of a impact on the low capital cost plants than the really high capital cost plants. So what you do is you make a little data table, and up here you put the capacity factor. Okay, now of course, this is going to be a very simple thing. Now, I do think it's worth. My friend Avsar, he's really helped me out here, and we went through this whole making a data table, and instead of using the data table in Excel, we use a data table, and I have to make sure that I use the right one. Just a minute. Shit. Okay, excuse me for that. I was recording a macro, but before. So if you do this data table, you notice how fast it does the data table. Now I'm just gonna. You can find this file on my website if you go to the website at bodmer.com. I'll put this file will be in the well, let's put this, because we're going to work on graphs. This file will be in the dynamic graphs. Okay, I'll put it there, and we're going to change the scale. Okay, now just to let you know, this file, really the more important thing about this file, it's got a whole bunch of stuff in it. But to do this really quickly, here's the big trick. You find the range. You find the range, because this is a very, very big file. You find the range uh, and just switch the calculation to manual. You save the calculation state and only do the range calculation, and then you can put the calculation state back. So this gives you a thing. Now, what we want to do, I'm going to cut this for a minute. What we want to do, and that's why, oh, I know why. So what we want to do is change the scale. Now, the way I set this up is I put very, very little increments on here. So if we just make the graph, why don't I make the graph here? So if we just make the graph, and capacity factor is going to be on the x-axis, so we better eliminate this graph. So this is going to be a screening graph. If we press F11, we get this crazy graph. Now, let's not do that. Let's press alternate F1. And then what we can do is cut it. Okay. And we put this here. Now, whoops. Oh, shoot. Okay. What did I not copy it? Okay. Okay. Now, I thought I cut it. And if this doesn't work, I'm going to start swearing again. Okay, fine. Finally. Now, to make this kind of into a nice little graph, well, before I do that, let's change this and make it a XY chart, because now, and we do this, no, and actually I'm going to make it a and we press like this, and it gives you crazy because when you've got a really low cost, and then you format the access, and if we want to put a maximum access, let's say of 200 in here, then we get a reasonably looking graph. And what we might want to do is just push this axis up and down. So that's what this is all about. Now, it's really so easy when you see it that it's kind of obvious. So what you do is you just start recording a macro. Okay, let's call this Yscale. I might have something that's named. I don't have that. Now you just click on the axis, go to Format Axis, and let's change this to 300. Okay, and whoops, no, excuse me. And okay, and then let's stop recording the macro, and then let's put this as 400, and Shift Control F3 to just name the range, and put this on a little spinner box. In fact, why don't we use this? Maybe we'll use this. Okay. Okay, that'll be a little slider bar, and we'll format the control. Even now, I normally go like this, but we can make the maximum scale, I don't know, 30,000, something like that, and let's, well, we'll put the minimum there. Okay. So all this does is it just increments it. Okay. I don't like the way, if I got a big file, it kind of, oh shit. Okay. Okay, so we can, oh, that's good. We can go in between the increments. Now, all we have to do is, this was a range name called Yscale. So all we have to do is look at our macro that has the, oh, look, I do have two scales, okay. And did I call this Yscale, this thing I left open? Oops, excuse me, this is a little embarrassing. No, I didn't. Okay, I don't know where my other Yscale is. Now what I'm going to call this is Yscale 1, just because I seem to have two of them. Okay. And in fact, we can call this Yscale 9 because it's from chart 9. Now we don't need all this other stuff. Okay, and all we have to do here is put the range. I think that's what I called it. And then we just, okay. And of course, and then we have to right click and assign this macro to it. And I called it Yscale 9. I don't know why. Oh, Yscale. The reason it didn't like Yscale, that was also the name of a range. So, oops. You can maybe it works a little better. Oops. I don't know if I like that. Why don't we do the same thing with the spinner box? And we'll put a, I think a spinner box actually might be a little better here. And let's go from 0 to, fine. We'll put it 100, and we can again put the Yscale here. And press OK. And attach this to our macro. And we have now a flexible Yscale, so we can kind of see what's happening and try different Yscales, okay? And you can obviously do that with all sorts of things. So just to review, it's a very simple little macro. You just record a macro, you attach a macro to the form, and you go into the macro and make it into a range name. The more important thing, again, was making a nice little uh, data table, and this is going to be, I'm going to call this integrated electricity analysis. Okay, so that's that video. We'll make a couple more videos from this.